The sun rose over the Nile like a burning crown. Its gold light spilled across the river, climbed the columns of Karnak, and kissed the painted walls of Thebes. Boats drifted through the morning mist, their sails pale as ghost wings. Priests sang to the gods. Farmers bowed to the river. Egypt awakened as it always had, ancient, eternal, unchanging. But on this day, something impossible was about to happen. Inside the palace, a woman stood alone before a bronze mirror. She was tall, slender, regal, but her eyes carried a weight that did not belong to youth. Her name was Hatshepsut, daughter of kings, wife of a king, and now something more. Servants approached quietly, like shadows. They brought the garments of a pharaoh, not silk dresses, not queenly robes, but the kilt of a king, the false beard of Horus, the crown of Upper and Lower Egypt, symbols no woman had ever worn. Hatshepsut closed her eyes. In her mind, she heard whispers, voices of priests, nobles, generals, gods. A woman cannot rule. The throne belongs to a man. The gods will curse Egypt. History will erase you. She opened her eyes and spoke softly. Then history will learn my name. The child of blood and gold. Hatshepsut had not been born ordinary. She was royal blood, pure and powerful, the daughter of Pharaoh Thutmose I and Queen Ormuz. From childhood, she walked temple halls where only kings were meant to tread. She learned the language of priests, the law of the land, the rituals of the gods. She was taught how Egypt worked, how power flowed like the Nile, controlled by gates, priests, and belief. She married her half-brother, Thutmose II. As tradition demanded, she became queen. Then he died young, and the throne passed to a boy, Thutmose III, a child, too young to rule, too young to lead armies, too young to command gods and men. So Hatshepsut became regent. At first, it was supposed to be temporary, just a caretaker of power, just a woman holding the throne warm for a boy king. But Egypt watched her, and Egypt listened, and Egypt believed the decision. Years passed. The boy king grew, but the power did not leave her hands, because Hatshepsut understood something no ruler before her had fully grasped. Power is not taken by force. Power is built through belief. So she did not seize the throne. She transformed it. The priests declared that the god Ammon himself had chosen her. The temples carved images of her divine birth. The people heard stories that the gods had shaped her destiny before she was born. Not rebellion, not war, legitimacy. Then one morning, she made the final move. She did not call herself queen. She did not call herself regent. She took the ancient title, Pharaoh, king of Upper and Lower Egypt, son of Ra, living God on earth, a woman becoming a god. The transformation. And that is when she changed her image, not to hide who she was, but to control how Egypt saw her. She wore the king's kilt. She wore the false beard. She wore the crown. Statues were carved not as a woman pretending to be a man, but as a ruler beyond gender. Her body feminine, her posture masculine, her face divine. She became a symbol, not a person, a living idea. Egypt did not worship Hatshepsut the woman. They worshipped Hatshepsut the pharaoh, the golden age, and Egypt flourished trade routes reopened across Africa and Arabia. Gold flowed from Nubia, incense from Punt, ivory, spices, animals, treasures. She sent great ships across unknown seas. She built monuments that still defy time. Her greatest creation rose at Deir el-Bahari temple, carved into the cliffs like a stairway to the gods. Not built in fear, not built in war, built in peace. While other pharaohs carved their names through blood and conquest, Hatshepsut carved hers through prosperity, architecture, and stability. No great wars, no burning cities, no broken empires, just a nation growing stronger, richer, calmer, safer. Egypt had never known a ruler like her. The silence of enemies. But power always creates shadows. And in those shadows waited Thutmose III, the boy king, the heir, the one who was supposed to rule. He grew into a warrior, a general, a commander, and he watched 4 years as a woman wore the crown meant for him, as her statues filled temples, as her name replaced his in prayers, as history wrote her story instead of his. He did not challenge her, not openly, not with armies, not with words. He waited, because he understood something she also knew. Time is the deadliest weapon in politics. Death of a pharaoh. When Hatshepsut died, Egypt mourned. But power does not mourn. Power moves on. Thutmose III took the throne fully, and then the erasing began. Her statues were smashed. Her name was carved from walls. Her face was chipped from stone. Her titles were rewritten. Her story was buried, not hatred, not rage, fear, because her existence broke a rule that men depended on. That power belonged to them alone. So, history was edited. For centuries, the world forgot her, not because she was weak, but because she was too powerful to remember safely the return of a name. Thousands of years passed. Sand buried temples. The Nile shifted. Empires rose and fell. Religions changed. Languages died. But stone remembers. And one day, archaeologists uncovered her face, her name, her titles, her temples, her story. And the world learned the truth. One of Egypt's greatest rulers, one of its most successful pharaohs, one of its most peaceful builders, one of its most visionary leaders was a woman, not pretending to be a man, not borrowing power, becoming power. The legacy. Hatshepsut did not conquer the world with swords. She conquered it with intelligence, with belief, with vision, with strategy, with patience. She did not break the system. She mastered it. She did not shout for the throne. She reshaped reality until the throne belonged to her, and history tried to erase her. But history failed, because stone remembers, and legends survive, and truth always returns. The Nile still flows. Her temple still stands. Her name is spoken again. Her story lives again. And Egypt still whispers it through the desert winds. There was once a woman who did not ask for power. She became Pharaoh.